Well, it's time for Chelsea's final pre-season game, and it's against Xabi Alonso's former club before he moved to Liverpool in 2004. It is Real Sociedad. Welcome to the bridge as Chelsea complete their pre-season at home against the Spanish side. No Mikel Oyarzabal, the World Cup winner. He's on the bench, or not even on the squad really, for Sociedad. But Chelsea, I am very, very excited with this starting 11. Rob Sanchez in goal. We're going to see the back three again that we saw in the last two games for Xabi Alonso, one against AC Milan and then, of course, against JDT in Malaysia. It's the back three of Levi Colville, Maxence Lacroix for the first time will be playing in the bridge, albeit in pre-season. And on the right, Wesley Fofana, it's Palestra and Neto as the two wing-backs. Moises Caicedo and Captain Reece James in midfield with the front three. Very, very exciting. We've got João Pedro leading the line. He's been on fire in pre-season. Cole Palmer on that right-hand side, half space. And the £117 million man, Morgan Rogers, the number 17, the new number 17 for Chelsea. And the last time we've seen a number 17 at the bridge was Eden Hazard. And if he can make even half the impact of Eden, we've got some player on our hands. Well, Pellegrino is gone with a 4-3-3 by the looks of it. Alex Ramiro is in goal. Sergio Gomez as left back. John Aramburu on the right-hand side. Luke Mbeshia and John Martinez, the two centre-halves. Carlos Soler, Lucas Susic and Yangel Herrera as the midfield three. Ori Oscarson leading the line with Takefuso Kuba on the right-hand side. And on the left, they've got Ander Barancea. Well, Xabi Alonso, for the first time at the bridge, it's a monumental moment for him. He'll want to get off to a good start here and, of course, put that imprint that Chelsea so desperately need after a hapless season where we finished 10th and conceded 8 against Paris Saint-Germain. This has to be a new Chelsea. It has to be the beginning of a new dawn. We cannot be having more churnouts in terms of managerial. Could this be finally our answer to our manager, Xabi Alonso? Welcome to the bridge, and hopefully we see what you're all about. Well, when I saw the signing of Morgan Rogers, we just knew that even if we do play a 4-2-3-1, he's going to be the one operating on that left-hand side, considering we had Jamie Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho last season. That had to change some way, somehow. It's improved a lot more this time because on the left-hand side, we do have Morgan Rogers, Jamie Gittins, and even a wild card like Mikhailo Mudryk, who won't be really featuring for Chelsea a lot this season, but he's there as an option and certainly someone who can kind of explode behind the scenes now that his doping problems are behind him. So Chelsea have exciting options. Of course, on the right-hand side, Giovanni Kenda Esteva, both on the bench and are very exciting prospects. One, maybe Kenda is that right winger, right wing back, but Esteva, one of our main attackers, probably off the bench as Chelsea have to manage him. Well, I'm very excited to see how this Chelsea turn up here. This is going to be very, very interesting. We've got our strongest possible lineup. This is pretty much what we're going to see against Fulham. There might be a few changes, maybe in midfield, but if Reece is fit and gets a good 45-minute workout in midfield, he's probably going to start against Fulham. Chelsea might have to manage our skipper because Reece's long-term future, right? Because we've got Malo Gusto who can play right back. His future was slightly uncertain, but with Reece, can he play right back for a full season? We have enough evidence to say no. So we have to manage him. Now, that's got to be the right side at centre half in a 3, or he has to play in midfield. These are the only two positions Chelsea have to view Reece James in the long term. And in midfield, we have seen the best and the worst of Reece James. The best was, of course, his man-of-the-match performances, both against Manchester City and Arsenal. Rodri and Declan Rice both played in that game, and Reece just looked absolutely class in there. So he's there and he's played a season under Enzo Maresca in midfield. So we'll wait and see whether or not Reece can recalibrate in that midfield area. Well, welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. He's also a bit for, in terms of transfer speculation as well. Oh, Chelsea nearly get the ball in towards that left-hand side. It looks like now that we've got real potent threat both on that left and that right-hand side. We got Palestra playing right wing back by the looks of it, and Neto left. I thought it's going to be the other way around, but I think Xabi Alonso wants Neto to just go on that left-hand side and just put the ball in first time rather than checking in and then crossing. Decent ball in, and the offside flag has been raised. This has been a solid start here. Both teams looking to play on the front foot. Ori Oscarson, the centre forward rather for Sociedad in the absence of Mikel Oyarzabal. Well, guys, there's not going to be any live footage of the game. This is a watch-along, so this is pretty much all you're going to get. If you do want to watch the game, got to go onto the Chelsea app and tune in. You can either get that yearly pass or you can get a game, which I've just got the game for. I don't watch too much Chelsea content otherwise in terms of training behind the scenes, interviews and stuff like that. I'm all about the games. And thanks for tuning in though. And hopefully, Emily, Chelsea do win today, and I want to see some good football. That's the main thing. In pre-season, you just want the boys to be fit again, get that conditioning going, because it's for some of the players like João Pedro, Cole Palmer, they've had a summer off. Cole, for the first time in nearly 4 years, having a summer off. I'm eternally grateful to Thomas Tuchel that he didn't call Cole up to the national side. And even Carlo Ancelotti, that was a crazy decision to leave João Pedro at home, which meant that our Brazilian gem could start fresh and ready to go again. What a signing he has been. 50 million quid last summer. I mean, we had so much doubts in terms of what was he going to be signed like? Is he going to be a backup to Cole? Is he going to be playing centre forward? Once he played centre forward, few games. It's all it took to see what João Pedro is all about. Now he's just one of those undroppable players. He just has to start. But Chelsea have to be very careful in terms of his cover too, because yes, we're playing one game a week and cup football won't be too much. But if anything happens to João, we need to certainly load manage him too. But we need a handy number 2, because every time we saw Liam Delap come onto the pitch last season, it's just like, yep, Chelsea are not going to score anymore. That has to change now. Whether it's Nico Jackson or Emmanuel Emega, either one of them have to be integrated as quickly as possible, because yes, they're going to see very little game time. Someone like Nico Jackson would love to start, and Emega, he's not seen a lot of action. Injury didn't see him at all in pre-season so far. So he's going to have to get up to speed as quickly as possible. So Chelsea are certainly gambling with that number 2 spot if Jackson is allowed to leave. Both Jackson and Delap are not in the squad here today, so we're expecting their departure as the transfer window rolls on. They show match. Oh, yeah, there's no game here, bro. Yeah, this one's not even that serious. That's true. It's pre-season. Again, it's not about the results. I don't really mind Sukeme if Chelsea even lose, but I want to see some good football. We talked about how the back 3 combination. Alonso started off pre-season with a back 4. Western Sydney was a back 4. Juventus was a back 4. And then we saw that back 3 against Ruben Amorim's AC Milan. Then they were like, okay, that was our best performance by far. Yes, AC Milan were nowhere near their full strength or capabilities, but you saw some signs there, and then he stuck with it against JDT. The result was horrifying, but you're seeing some. I thought, especially when Morgan Rogers was signed as an interior player, him and Cole as the 2 number 10s, it's the best suited system. And if you want to get Levi Colwill, Maxence Lacroix, and Wesley Fofana in the side, it's the best possible option. Chelsea on the right-hand side, great acceleration, and the cutback. Oh, well blocked. It's Moises Caicedo. Stinging effort, but well wide. Well, Chelsea start well here. 5th minute. Again, down the right-hand side, Cole Palmer just drops the shoulder, immediately sells the defender. I think that was Sergio Gomez who just fell for the bait, but really good combination there. Look at Cole here. In tight spaces, he can make things happen. Nicely done. It was John Martin, actually, who just came on the cover. You see the message start of the effing game says Mies. Not really sure. But there is a lot of anger for a pre-season game, guys. It's not that serious. So John Martin and Luke Betia as the 2 centre halves. Betia just moving in recently as John Aramburu on the right-hand side. Sociedad getting a feel of the ball. Unfortunately, their midfield has been eviscerated courtesy of Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, both Zubomendi and Mikel Merino moving to North London. On the left-hand side, trying to just push that forward, trying the combination, one touch around. Well defended. Chelsea are not allowing Real Sociedad any sort of territory, winning the ball back quickly. The back three now, in terms of the back three, I always viewed Levi Colwill as our centre half, right? Because of the imbalance that we have, or maybe Chelsea not trusting Jarell Hato, who could very easily play as left side at centre half, But it seems that it's going to be Lacroix as the centre back, as the dominant force, because Levi Colwill is by far Chelsea's best player out the back, and we saw how much we missed him. It's absolutely crazy in terms of the drop-off that we had from Levi Colwill to Tosin Adarabioyo. That was a huge, steep drop-off, so can't have that again. So I think signing Lacroix makes a lot of sense, and Chelsea has spent 70 million on Wesley Fofana. That was in 2022, I believe. That was the first window under Todd Bowley and co. And this is the first real big signing that we have made at centre half. Yes, we bought the likes of Disasi and Badiashile. Both have not worked. We've seen Badiashile is going to Napoli on loan with a obligation to buy. Disasi is certainly leaving Chelsea. We need to trim down our numbers. We do have a bloated squad. Yes, Joao Pedro. I want to see Joao being in that forward line, in the box as much as possible. He's a baller, man. He just loves to get involved, play those quick combination play. It's going to be interesting to see. 8.5 minutes on the clock. Here's Palmer. Here's Reece James. First involvement is a beautiful switch, well defended. Chelsea do pick up the second ball here. Palestra operating in a central position. Finds Moises Caicedo. Now Reece, who started the attack, shifts it onto the right-hand side. That's a very good pass. Now Pedro Neto. Ball into the box. It's a decent cross in. The header is brilliantly saved. And on the follow-up, Chelsea do have the lead. And it is Morgan Rogers, the £117 million man, who gives Chelsea the lead. It was simple football, really. Cross into the box. The header was very well saved by Alex Ramiro. And Morgan Rogers, like every good forward, on the follow-up, taps it in from close range. Well, that's perfect. Into the 10th minute, Chelsea having the lead at the bridge. And it's that man, Morgan Rogers, who's had to wait just about 10 minutes for the first time at the bridge to make his first real impact. Good ball in by Pedro Neto. Good header there by Joao Pedro. That's where you want to see Joao Pedro in the box. Good cross by Pedro Neto. Right on the money. Great save. And Morgan Rogers from close range. Yeah, good start, boys. Good start. He's not going to score a more simpler goal than that. Great save by Alex Ramiro, but he can only palm it into the path of Rogers. And Chelsea's first game at the bridge. It's Morgan Rogers with the goal. Thanks, Maddie. Being ganged up for a watch-along. Like, show me the stream. I don't have the stream. The only guys who have the stream is Chelsea TV, so go for it. Get the Game Pass. Get the Season Pass if needed as well. So if you want to watch Chelsea content, that's where you're going to get it. A good start, man. This is what we want to see. It's not like trying to open up Real Sociedad, but simple goal. Pedro Neto showcasing his value. Again, as a wing-back, Pedro Neto certainly does bring a useful skill set. It's when he was playing as winger for Chelsea, especially at right wing, that's when we felt, okay, this cannot carry on long term, because if you're a £50 million signing and expected to start week in, week out, it was a significant drop-off for us when we had Neto and Noni. We were not really sure as to who's going to be playing right wing for us. It was always a jostle. Like, some people like, okay, maybe Noni should start somewhere. Like, maybe it should be Neto. But now that both us, I mean, Noni is of course out the door, but Neto could be out the door as well. It could be interesting to see who really cements that right hand side. Now, if it's Cole Palmer, if Chelsea are playing with the three, that is going to be something I'm not really opposed to, because Cole in the right hand side half space, left hand side half space is Morgan Rogers, and we can be cooking with gas. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Guys, I can't show the game. There's just simply no way I can show you the game. It's only available on the Chelsea app. So go ahead, watch the game. Yeah, Pablo, Real Sociedad, not the most crispest of starts from them, but Chelsea have shut down pretty much everything in terms of their attacks. Their key player, that is Mikel Oyarzabal, is not starting, so they're going to have to just ease him in because he's going to be a key player for them. And he had an absolutely brilliant World Cup, so fair play to him. Not many pegged him as the starting centre forward for a nation like Spain, but he was absolutely fantastic. He was a key man. Of course, didn't score in the World Cup final, but had a great World Cup. I think Barcelona might end up poaching for him because they've had Lewandowski and Ferran Torres both leave. Julian Alvarez, who's thought that they could probably get him, that's not going to happen. So someone like Mikel Oyarzabal can certainly be a good fixture in there. Hey, thanks a lot, Pablo. Appreciate the greetings from Argentina, my friend. Greetings from India. Again, from that midfield player, it's going to be interesting how Chelsea do manage to move the game through the centers. We saw Liam Rossini. Let's Enzo Maresca preferred the action happening out wide, right? We saw a lot of touches for the opposition wingers, but with Liam Rossini, it was more of central progression. Andre Santos, Caicedo, all playing in the center. We saw the best of Joao Pedro because we saw him as a absolute number 9. So it was brilliant to see that the two different ways that Chelsea could play, but of course the season did end up on a nosedive. So I want to see how Xabi does prefer Chelsea to attack. It's going to be a hybrid setup because I'm sure for many games we will start like this, but then in games that maybe we are expected to go on dominate possession, we might see a back 4 and 3 attackers behind Joao Pedro. So Manny, thoughts on no Jackson on the bench? Well, when I was looking at the bench, I was seeing, yep, this is good, this is good. And in terms of strikers, we've got nobody, and that is a bit concerning. No Manuel Mega, correct me if I'm wrong. So he's not there. Now, the lap we know that Como might have a pinch at him. Now, Jackson leaving, I think if he leaves, it's probably going to be on a permanent, and Chelsea might recoup a lot of money, but we lose a very valuable profile. Now, it's a risk, man. Yes, Joao Pedro is our starting number 9. No problems whatsoever. I mean, for Chelsea to just break that number 9 curse once in a while and we end up getting a gem. I mean, we had to wait a long time before we got Diego Costa, and now we have to wait a long, long time before we got Joao Pedro. So someone's going to have to play second fiddle to him. So Jackson's probably looking at this and saying, I want game time here. I've played under Unai Emery before. I can start games. So he's probably going to look at it that way, that he's going to start or probably even be second choice, but there is Champions League football for Aston Villa, so there's going to be a lot of game time, a lot of competition for places, and with Unai Emery's side slightly weakened with a bit of injuries and some of the outgoings, like Morgan Rogers, Yuri Tielemans, Onana missing out with an ACL injury, it's going to be a difficult season for Unai Emery. For someone like Jackson can certainly go out there and elevate their levels, especially in the forward areas. So you can understand why it's a huge blow for Chelsea, man. I'm not going to lie. I don't mind him if he goes on loan and Chelsea buy him back next season with Chelsea. I mean, bring him back next season with the hopes of, yep, we're going to be playing Champions League football next season. Hopefully, that is. So it's going to be a bit of long term thinking. Do I trust them? Not so much, but it is what it is. You just got to hope that Joao Pedro stays fit throughout the season. That's the only remit. Stay fit, manages minutes, and someone like Emmanuel Omega can just take some of the load off him, especially in games on the Cups early on in the season, and of course a few minutes when the games are obviously done from Chelsea's point of view. So it's going to be interesting. Michael, I can't show you the game because if I show you the game, the stream will be taken off for copyright infringement, and I'm going to get a strike that I can't recover from. So, sorry, mate. It's a watch along. As it says, I think the title is pretty clear. Have I messed up the title, Manny? It looks like I've not put live watch along. It is what it is. But so far, so good from Chelsea's point of view. 1-0. It's a nice goal as well, wasn't it? Just get Morgan Rogers, get him involved, not have a drought whatsoever. It's good to see him attacking the box. Chelsea have clearly prioritized like shooters over the last couple of seasons in terms of the recruitment. You've seen the likes of Jamie Gittins, who's got a real shot on him. Okay, we have not seen much of it. We saw it against Wolves in the Carabao last season. That's about it. But someone like Morgan Rogers, someone who outperforms his XG. Now, I don't like to use too much of the XGs and stats, but he's someone who loves to shoot outside the box and it can convert half chances into goals. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic with Cole Palmer and João Pedro does pan along. Yeah, I have mentioned it. I think I'm good. I'm clear. I do appreciate everybody tuning in, though. It is a weekend. It is pre-season, and the season's starting, guys. Let me know what you think in terms of who's going to be winning, who's going to be top 4, top 5, maybe not even a top 4. We're going into a top 5. It's become ludicrous now that 5 clubs in the Premier League get to play in the Champions League, and about 8 or 9 teams in total will be in European competitions. Bournemouth, Brighton, their squad depths will certainly be tested. Crystal Palace, of course, who won the Conference League and now under new management will be playing in the Europa League. Well, Macquarie, this is me streaming the game, by the way. This is pretty much what you're going to be getting, so. Oh, by the way, guys, the Chelsea app is just conked off. Superb. It's just not working. Live stream unavailable. That cannot be right, right? You get people to pay for it and then you don't stream the game. Someone should be losing their job for that. At least get the game back on. But anyways, if you guys are seeing what's happening in the game, I am following some of the live commentaries that's happening on Football, but nothing's happened so far. It's 1-0 to Chelsea, 20 minutes on the clock. It's exciting to see Chelsea pretty much have a best possible starting 11 in the game. Might see a few tweaks, might see Enzo Fernandez coming in the second half and playing alongside Moises Caicedo. Caicedo should not be playing 90 minutes, mind you. So we might see someone like Enzo Fernandez and Dario Isugo in midfield for the second 45 minutes. Certainly going to see Estevao and Giovanni Kenda coming on at some point. So there's a lot of players at Xabi Alonso's disposal. It's just a matter of how he uses them and how he tries to get the best out of him. Manny, I've seen that you've sent me a message. It's a very covert stuff. I'm going to try the app again in a bit, but I mean, come on, fix up, be professional. You are not serious people. And so far, so good. And defensively is what I want to see. I want to see how Chelsea, because okay, the JDT game is not much of a preseason in general, isn't much, but we don't allow too many chances. Even the Juventus game, yes, we ended up losing it, but I saw something in terms of control, right? Because okay, Juventus are not filled with quality players. Kenan Yildiz came on in the second half and tried his best, but we didn't see the absolute best of him. So, but I thought in terms of the shape, I thought it started to work. So I understand why he's going with the back three. David, the match's not going to be shown here, so this is all I'm going to. This is all you're going to pretty much be hearing. It's going to be me talking. So if you don't like it, you can probably tune out. But it is a watch along, and unfortunately, I cannot show you the game. Copyright infringement is a real thing. Well, so far, Chelsea do have a 1-0 lead courtesy of Morgan Rogers. It was a pretty simplistic goal in terms of the construction. It was a cross into the box by Pedro Neto. Joao Pedro getting a good header on it. Directed it right into the corner. Alex Romero with a good save. And of course, Morgan Rogers putting the finishing touches. Manny, the link's not working, or I might be doing something wrong, but I do appreciate it. It does end up working good. I can't believe the Chelsea app has just shit the bed in terms of the streaming. I know you don't want to see my face, Adam. Unfortunately, this is all you're going to get. There's a lot of content on YouTube, though. Damn. I'm still waiting, Manny. I'm going to get something out of that damn stream. You know exactly how much I paid for the game, so I need that stream back on. Fuck that. I mean, come on as well. This is the lineup we wanted to watch, right? You saw Lequine for the first time, Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, Joao Pedro. See the goal, thankfully. Then the stream just stops working. I just checked Twitter, so yeah, I think it's down for everyone, not just me. Yeah, Twitter is a bit of furious again. US 13 for the game in the US. I mean, we're only getting lucky, Manny, if I'm getting to watch the game. I mean, sure, it's a cut price deal in India, but what? They're asking me to buy the match pass again. That's not happening. I guess we're just going to talk ball, guys. Manny, get that stream to work. What are they asking me to buy the match pass again? This is a farce. I knew I shouldn't have gotten it. I just felt the scam was in. The fix was in. What a freaking scam. Yeah, I might just end up talking for a bit and just bouncing in the stream. But we'll see. If you guys have anything in terms of what do you think Chelsea might be doing throughout the season, wait and see. If you want to talk ball in general about the clubs you support, of course, do that as well. Rogers fizzes a pass across goal just beyond Pedro. Where the hell are you watching this, Manny? The link that you sent me. I don't know, bro. I'm trying to get it to work. Well, the Chelsea app was a nice little scam. I'm going to try it in the second half, though. Better damn work. I was now going to get the season pass anyways, but the game would be nice. Hopefully in the second half I'll figure this shit out. Let me see if something has changed in terms of scoreline. I am keeping an eye in terms of live developments. Yeah, Real Sociedad are getting back in the game here. A couple of shots. Herrera and Kubo have both had pops. Neither on target, but Chelsea need to make sure that try and sort out the number of chance created against us. Even if you're not at full clip going forward, Manny, the stream works. You freaking legend, dude. You absolute ledge. We cooking. Yeah, we are absolutely cooking, Manny. Well, this is the Kubo effort. Did end up side netting. I'm going to check out the app later on in the second half, but about 25 minutes on the clock. Yep, I see it's the hydration break. So for preseason, we don't really mind. But so far, Chelsea 1-0 up, courtesy of Morgan Rogers' close range effort. Pretty much a tap in there for him, but a nice little way to get off the mark for his new club. £117 million move. And nicely done. You're a smooth operator, sir. Respect to the skills. Let's see where Chelsea just build in the second part of the first half. I want to see that combination play. Xabi Alonso would have, okay, the last couple of shots, I said, okay, we can do a lot more better, especially with Levi Colwill on that left-hand side, is having to defend that oceans of space that can occur, especially when either one of our wingbacks, Palestra or Neto, are flying forward. So Levi Colwill will have to look very comfortable in those wide areas. This was a Chelsea goal, simple in its construction. And the forward players getting involved. Neto's cross into the box for Joao Pedro's header. Good save by Romario and tapped in from close range. Xabi Alonso would love a victory to close out pre-season, but more importantly, he would love it to see Chelsea actually playing some good ball. It's not going to be an easy first game for us, guys. I mean, we've got Alvaro Arbeloa's Fulham at Craven Cottage. No travel whatsoever. It's going to be a smooth operation in terms of getting there. But under the lights, Monday night kickoff, it's going to be a tricky affair. You can already see those headlines as the two ex-Real Madrid managers will be going head-to-head. See who comes out on top. No, Jared, you can bounce, dude. Like, this is YouTube. There's so much content. You can absolutely, yeah, people losing it on Twitter. Exactly. Immediately, man, I went to Twitter and I checked, like, was it just mine? Well, like, why are they asking it for me? Yeah, it turns out it's a CFC issue. Yeah, that's me never being a customer on CFC Plus again. That was a huge mistake, especially when you get a match pass and then you see the stream dying. Then it is what it is. Modern capitalism, eh? Well, back underway. Hydration break complete. Xabi Alonso with a few tactical tweaks. Talked about backup strikers. Backup goalkeeper certainly going to be interesting. It looks like it's going to be Rob Sanchez as our starting number one, with Mike Penders as a second choice. Very similar profile to Thibaut Courtois, of course. 6'6" from Genk, Belgium. He didn't have the same impact before coming into Chelsea. Remember that Chelsea got him from Genk, loaned him to Atletico Madrid. He was absolutely superb there. I mean, I think they won the league title, and if it was a Champions League final, wasn't it? It was Thibaut Courtois getting involved in. And then when he does end up at Chelsea, pretty much gives them an ultimatum. He's not going to sign the new contract if I'm not starting number one. And with Petr Cech as a number two, Jose Mourinho made the call. It was Thibaut Courtois as our number one. Manny, it's YouTube. And this is why I don't post content on Twitter as well. It's a watch long, guys. It's not that serious. It's pre-season too. Lighten up. So angry on a weekend, dude. Weekend's supposed to be chill. Especially Chelsea playing in the sun. And the result not ruining your weekend being another huge boost as well. We're going to see a lot of that with the season coming in, because despite a lot of positivity or potential that Chelsea have, this is still a side that finished 10th last season. Yes, new management, a few core players drafted in, but there are going to be wobbles. It's not going to be smooth sailing. Going to have to take the rough with the smooth, unfortunately. That's pretty much being a Chelsea fan. Since eons, it's the highs are incredible, the lows are tough to take. I mean, the 12th under Graham Potter and Frank Lampard, that season was that was a low. Last season was forgetful as well. The season after we won the league, Jose Mourinho and Gus Hiddink coming in and Chelsea finishing 10th, that was a tough pill to swallow. So that's 3 seasons that we've seen that are definitely some low points. I would like to add the second season of Antonio Conte after Chelsea won the league in 16-17. That 17-18 season was pretty damn miserable as well. The Sociedad have got a couple of options for this free kick. Takefuso Kubo. There was a good save, Manning. Good save by Sanchez indeed. I was angling in. Had a couple of options there to about 23 yards out from goal. It's the first time that Sanchez has been really troubled. Good save. Takefusa Kubo was good in the World Cup, wasn't he? Had a few moments for Japan. I think they played really well against Brazil. Just ran out of legs towards the end. Just died out there. It was a lesson maybe, but there's one Asian team that's probably going to get the furthest. We did see Korea in 2002, but in the modern era, it is Japan that I have the most hopes from. They're a team that can compete with some of the best. I need the link is giving me stress, but I'm watching a bit of football, so I can't complain. Might be behind in terms of the stream. I think 31 minutes on the clock. So far, Chelsea having to face just the one shot on target. On the left-hand side here, cross comes into the box. Sanchez! Oh, he might have gotten a fingertip to it, but do end up clearing our lines. Chelsea in the last few minutes looking a little tender at the back. And so far, so good in terms of the scoreline. Rob Sanchez now being tested a lot more in the second 45. Kubo's the one who's been causing us a lot of problems. Lovely footwork. Great save by Sanchez, wasn't it? He had very little time to read that whatsoever. Strong wrist. Good save. Oh, Chelsea in a bit of trouble. Sanchez goes lunging in. We've seen that a couple of times in the season. Manchester United is the one that is immediately reminded to me. Daniel, there's no links to this game, unfortunately. Chelsea have got this game behind paywall. And the shitty part is, I bought the game and I can't view it on the... the app has shit the bed, so we're all suffering. We're all in this together. Thankfully, with half an hour on the clock, it is 1-0 to the Blues. Morgan Rogers, the £117 million man. The Aston Villa fans are going to have a huge head loss in terms of the replacements, right? Because we have replaced Garnacho with Rogers, and they have replaced Rogers with Garnacho. So that's a tough one to take for the Villa fans who have been a bit shortchanged in the market. I'm not going to lie. Last 2 seasons, Unai Emery has been dealt a really poor hand, man. Sancho and Lindelof. And then this season, yes, Yohan Manzambi is a huge positive for them. And he's going to take a bit of time before he's going to be integrated. He was injured during the latter end of the World Cup where he would have made a huge impact for Switzerland. But now he's joined his new club after Newcastle United, made the initial inquiry. They agreed terms, but it was Aston Villa swooping in with that fresh Morgan Rogers cash. 50 million bang on Freiburg's table. Manzambi's off. But Aston Villa did have a good look at Yohan Manzambi in that Europa League final, which Aston Villa did end up winning 3-0. There's 35 minutes on the clock. Still is 1-0 the scoreline. Yep, Manny? Understood, sir. We're going to have to slum it out for the stream. Things we do for Chelsea, eh? But thankfully, these kind of troubles will be over from tomorrow. We'll be doing the live stream for the Community Shield. It's going to be Arsenal, the league winners after 20 years. 22 years, rather, versus the FA Cup. Well, the domestic winners, Manchester City, for the first time under new management for nearly 10 years. Former Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca, the sidelines at the Etihad. Yeah, Daniel, Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers, and Joao Pedro, the front three for us. We saw Joao Pedro and Morgan Rogers combining for the goal, not in terms of the 1 or 2 touch play, but it was a simplistic goal that Chelsea did score. Neto on the right-hand side, on his left foot, crosses into the box. Joao Pedro's astute header Well saved by Ramiro, but Morgan Rogers following it up from close range. Pretty much a tap in to get his first goal, albeit in friendly conditions for the Blues at Stamford Bridge. It was good to see. Yep, the front line was certainly the exciting bit for Chelsea, but the back line too. This is the strongest back three that we have on paper and possibly on the pitch too, with Wesley Fofana, Maxence Lacroix, and of course Levi Colville. Lacroix and Colville are like two new signings for us, man. Levi Colville missed out a chunk of last year. I thought we were not going to see Levi till basically this game, but he ended up playing 90 minutes at Anfield under McFarlane, then played 90 minutes at Wembley against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. That felt like a huge, huge risk for us, but it seems that he's come out unscathed. He did miss a huge chunk of pre-season. Chelsea ended up keeping him at Cobham, so that seems to have been a good decision because Levi is fit and we're ready to go. The numbers are through the roof, Gautam. For some reason, it's all because of you guys, man. You guys were the early investors, early adopters. You guys kept me company with all those late watch-alongs for the World Cup. These hours, so much better, right? Everybody just enjoys football when the timing is right. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pre-season steadings, the numbers are great. Chelsea are winning. Couldn't be a better Saturday. Ooh, that could be a foul. Might be just outside the box. Pedro Neto making moves. Neto looks like he's definitely playing for that Manchester City move, isn't he? He's been very active on that right-hand side. And if Chelsea gets 70 million for Pedro Neto, that's one of the heights of the summer. You guys are the OGs, man. Never forget. Much love. Ooh, that could have very easily been a pen, you know. Oof, that was a close call. Neto's been cooking. Again, if Neto does end up at the club and staying at the club, if he's doing wing-back shifts, I'm all for it, man. I do not want to see him in the half spaces, and if Chelsea do play 4-2-3-1 as right winger, that can't happen. Wing-back? Why not? He works hard, he's diligent, he does have a bit of quality, decent ball in, but then if you want like proper production down that right-hand side, yeah, things got to change. Who's going to Saudi? Neto? Again, I mean, this is Fabrizio Romano. He's going to be getting all the briefs from Chelsea. We saw the Liam Delap to Como links as well. A lovely pass between the lines. Now Chelsea playing some good stuff. There's Marco Palestra, our Swiss Army knife. Here's Moy. I thought Moy will get a bit of a rest, and that was a bit of a fanciful thought. Straight back in, 90 minutes. A key man in midfield. Here's Palestra on the left-hand side. Goes on the outside. Good pace, but very good defending. Aramburu just comes across. Solid stuff. Neto in his Ashley Young, Victor Moses hug. They walk so he can run, says Gautam. Facts, exactly. Not quite good enough to be a winger, but as a wing-back, it's very much got value for in the squad. And considering Chelsea don't have natural wing-backs, and if Xabi Alonso is going to persist with the back three and the two wing-backs, Neto can stay, man. But only as wing-back. That's my only caveat. Yeah, Victor Moses, never forget. 2016-17, Antonio Conte. They lost to Arsenal. Then, I think we lost to Liverpool and then Arsenal at 3-0 at the Emirates. Oh, that was it was a dark day, man. We've seen a lot since then, a lot worse. But then we saw this change in system. Marcos Alonso making that gesture. If you know, you know. From the sidelines, coming in at 45-minute mark. Changed it. And Victor Moses, right wing back. Outstanding. Scored goals too, man. No, he scored against Spurs at the Bridge, 2-1. I think it was Eriksson, then Pedro. And yeah, Victor Moses getting us the winner. And all Neto does is run. Yeah, you can't fault Neto. I've never faulted Neto's drive, work rate, his attitude, his application. All that. Tick, man. He's a model professional. There's a reason why he plays for Portugal as well. But quality again. Final third quality. Again, you might throw numbers at me. And to his credit, has been fit throughout his Chelsea tenure because remember when Chelsea did end up spending 50 million quid for him about 2 seasons ago now, it was a gamble because he's had some soft tissue muscle injuries in the past. He stayed fit, again, model professional. It's just that quality in the final third. That's some things that you've seen that you cannot unsee. So Chelsea work it well. I think since the goal, Chelsea have just taken the foot off the gas. They don't want to, pardon my language, blow your load in pre-season, especially with Fulham on Monday night. João Pedro for Golden Boot is only going to happen if he takes pens for us, which is not going to be the case because Cole's on pens. But if João Pedro takes pens for Chelsea, it's not like Chelsea get many pens anyways, but that's when you can be like confident that João Pedro could be that cheeky contender for a Golden Boot because unless someone topples Erling Haaland, and it's not going to be Igor Thiago is my guess, Golden Boot's always going to be in Haaland's name. That's a clever pass, but slightly overhit. Morgan Rogers, right idea. Again, you want to see those combinations as much as possible. Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers finding João Pedro, find him in that number 9 position. I mean, the kind of finishes João Pedro has displayed over 12 months has just been absolutely wild. His Villa hat-trick, that second goal, is something that you just like, okay, that's all I need to see, man. You've got the tools. He can hammer it, like we saw against Brentford, first game under Liam Rossinier. He's got the deft finish. He makes those number 9 runs where he sees a lot of tap-ins as well. He's just a complete striker, man. 10 on 10, no notes. Here is Pedro. Finds Morgan Rogers. Likes to cut in. Scoops it to João. João Pedro swarmed by 3 Sociedad players. Sociedad trying to play through the press. Chelsea applying the pressure. Nice body fake to get away from Moises Caicedo. Well, Sociedad have just 2 players committed in this attack and the touch is very heavy there. Will be a throw in. There was only one Chelsea player I loved, and that was Hazard. The skill he had, wow, says Daniel the Diesel. Daniel, I can spend conservatively a good couple of hours talking about Eden Hazard. Watched him for 7 years, and it was just freaking glorious, man. That's why Chelsea fans' standards, especially that left wing, I mean, we're never going to see anything like him, right? But the standards are so high that when we see players like Pedro Neto, Garnacho playing on the wing, it's like, no, this is unacceptable. This just cannot be the case. Gautam, again, I have, if I tap into my memory bank, just like that Kagawa thing, there's a lot there. Same window, wasn't it? Same price too. I think Chelsea paid, I know Chelsea paid 32 for Eden Hazard from Lille. How much do you guys pay for Kagawa? I want to say it was something like 24, 26 million. I'm weird like that. I remember stuff, but like, I want to say 27 at best. But that was a call, right? Kagawa versus Hazard. Oh, decent strike. Sanchez with another save. Falls to Kubo on the right-hand side. Gets away from Palestra. The Chelsea have been slightly exposed. And it's a strike from distance. Oh, wow. That is some equalizer. It is hit on the volley. So good. John Aramburu, the right back. Wow. Brilliant finish. And you cannot say Sociedad do not deserve the equalizer. Great strike on the volley. Sanchez helpless. 1-1. Wow, 2 different kinds of goals here today. There's a Morgan Rogers tap in the 10th minute. And just before half-time, John Aramburu. What is the right back doing in the half space in the first place? But wow, he hit that beautifully. Same price, but we didn't make the agent a millionaire. Ethical Uswali. Yeah. Touche. Kubo did well. Chelsea don't really clear it. Palestra's clearance went straight to Aramburu. I mean, Palestra's clearance could have been better, but take nothing away from that goal, man. I don't know too much about John Aramburu, but he's a right back, and I'm pretty sure that's his weaker left foot. Great goal. Fantastic finish. Took out 5 Arsenal players and scored. Yeah, never forget Francis Coquelin. He was never the same after that one, was he? Move! Okay, Chelsea need at least a shot because we've got 3 minutes of added on time remaining in the first half. It would be nice to see Alex Ramiro being troubled. Reece James, nice switch out onto the left-hand side, finds the Italian. Palestra, Levi Colville, Moises Caicedo finds Maxence Lacroix. Wesley Fofana now. It's patient stuff this from Chelsea. Cole Palmer operating in those half spaces. He's going to get the overlaps in the second half from maybe Giovanni Kenda. Levi, heavy pass. Difficult to control that one, and it's played through the Chelsea press again beautifully. And on the right-hand side, yes, Kubo, we can really have a run at the Chelsea defense. We're really now stretched before half-time. Sociedad work it well. Chelsea under pressure. Plenty behind now. Pressure still not averted. Cross comes in. Chelsea just about defended. It's not the most convincing bit of defending, but we'll take it. Oh, we're in real trouble now. It's a real mess. Good block, and it might start a counter-attack, and Palestra's body check. That's going to be a foul, and it should be a yellow card, ref. I think it's Aramburu. Yep, the goal scorer. Just body checks Palestra. It's cynical bit of play, but he had to do that because Palestra is rapid, and once he's on his bike on that left-hand side, Aramburu knew that he just had to take him out. A great goal. Great strike. Halftime break 1-1. We're expecting a lot of changes in the second half. Could be a brand new starting 11, including goalkeeper for Chelsea in the 45 minutes. I'm sure Xabi at best might give another 15. And then he's probably going to have to take out especially the likes of Cole Palmer, Moises Caicedo, Levi Colville and João Pedro. Maybe, just maybe, we might see 90 minutes from Maxence Lacroix because this is his first pre-season game. Arrived late after his exploits with France in the World Cup. Here's Palestra. Finds Moises Caicedo. See Chelsea trying to pack the central areas and almost leave the wide areas open for a bit of 1v1 play. Caicedo. Here's Rodgers. Bit quiet in scoring his goal, but he's going to have to find that rhythm. Him and Cole Palmer, of course, playing in the Manchester City youth setup. They won the Youth Cup against Chelsea. Was it that COVID season? I think it might have been, where it was Liam Delap, Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer as the front three at that time. And Joe Shields has managed to get all three here at Chelsea. It is half-time at the Bridge as Chelsea's final pre-season before Fulham away. At half-time is 1-1. Morgan Rogers giving Chelsea the lead in the 10th minute. Close range effort after Pedro Neto found João Pedro. The header was on target. Alex Ramiro with a good save and Rodgers from close range tapping it home. But the equalizer couldn't have been any more different. John Aramburu, the right back, on his weaker left foot on the volley, crashing it past Rob Sanchez. 1-1 since then. And it's pretty much even and level peggings. Chelsea FC, there's no stream and I can't give it to you even if I did. But it is the Chelsea app. That's the only place where you can watch it. Gotta have to pay for it though. You can either get the season pass or you can get a match pass. It is what it is. Yep, 1-1. Not too bad, guys. I will be back for the second half. Get a quick coffee and should be ready for the start of the second 45. Not bad in terms of tempo. The chance creation is something that I've had a bit of a gripe with during pre-season. That's got to improve. I mean, that's going to be incremental improvement, but the more João Pedro, Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers play together, that's going to be fine-tuned. So might see another 15 minutes of them before they're replaced and are ready to go at Craven Cottage. Again, we have no backup striker. There's no Delap or Nico Jackson on the bench. Satpayev has gone on loan to Burnley. That was a very curious loan for the 17-year-old Kazakh boy. Had a decent preseason for us. Scored the first goal under Xabi Alonso in preseason, which was an absolute banger of a finish on his right foot. But yeah, interesting. Considering they've got Zian Fleming, Burnley striker, Satpayev, if Burnley are playing 4-4-2, something like Sean Dyche would, maybe Satpayev could have a decent enough impact, but I don't know, man. I felt it was paramount that Chelsea get his loan right, and it's going to take a bit of evidence to see whether or not that pans out. It's going to be interesting. Chelsea's striker situation with Delap and Jackson on their way out, and it's more than likely looking like it's going to be Emmanuel Emega, the Dutch striker who was on Strasbourg last season on loan. Going to be a second choice striker. I'll be back for the second half, guys. Give me a soft 5, and I'll be back. No, Jackson's not injured, Gotham. He's very much fit, but not being in the squad, it looks like he's on his way out. And if he's going to be on his way out, it looks like it's going to be Aston Villa. Now, that's the only thing, right? It's going to suck even if Chelsea lose him loan or on a permanent, but he's in the hands of Unai Emery. And you all know, if you've been following the stream, I have a lot of love and admiration for Unai Emery. So for Nico Jackson, go out there, fulfill your dreams, play Champions League football, and go and have another push here. Because if there's one manager I trust for like a valuable commodity, like an unpolished gem, that's someone like Unai Emery, who's turning water into wine over there in the Midlands, man. Don't let anybody tell you any different. What he's doing at Aston Villa is not normal, and the constant turnover of very good players as well. He loses his best players, and they're replaced by sub-quality, substandard players, man. Jadon Sancho, Victor Lindelof, Alejandro Garnacho. What has Unai Emery done to deserve those players? Since he's taken over the mess that Aston Villa were at when Steven Gerrard was at the helm and they were hovering just over the relegation zone, to change the identity, to change your club completely, and to give him tools such as that, even when they've had like good players, like Musa Diaby was one. I mean, he was fantastic. They got him from Leverkusen for a big fee. He went the next season, he bounced. John Duran, yeah, you can understand when you're offered that kind of money, but Unai Emery, with the limited tools, him and John McGinn, captain and coach, respect, man. Nothing but respect. That's the only other quote unquote big side in the current climate in the Premier League that I kind of root for. I mean, Crystal Palace is my number 2 side, but they're always 12th and 15th. So it used to be Fulham, but then Fulham just dipped for the longest of times from the Premier League. And then, yeah, it just became Crystal Palace, Wilfred Zaha. If you know, you know. And then, of course, Eberechi Eze and Michael Elise hoops in South London. Brilliant stuff. Anyways, guys, we've been chatting a lot. There's not much been too much in the game, really. Chelsea creating the one opportunity, did end up scoring from it. Defensively, started off well, just tailed off towards the back end of the first half, expecting improvements from there. I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Well, we're back. It is almost a few minutes away from the start of the second half. Mr. Suleiman, if you want to watch the game, you're going to have to watch it on the Chelsea app. It is a paid endeavor, mind you. And that is where you're going to get access. Chelsea have got this game behind the paywall. You got to pay to view. Well, tomorrow morning, I'll be very interested. I might end up watching the Islam Gary fight. Whether or not I'll have enough energy for the Watchalong, I'll wait and see. But I'm a huge Ismail Makhachev fan, so watching his fights, especially in the new division in the welterweight category, defending his belt after winning it against Jack Maddalena, the Aussie, becoming double champ. Well, second half action is a few minutes away and some of Chelsea's substitutes are warming up. Chelsea's deep squad will be utilised and should be utilised as the players are walking out for the second half, led by Reece James, the skipper. It was a forgetful first 45 minutes, not going to lie, after Morgan Rogers opened the scoring in the 10th minute. Since then, Sociedad have been the better side. I think the effort from Angel Herrera drawing a big save of Rob Sanchez, ultimately powerless to stop the John Aramburu strike, which was right into the bottom corner. Chelsea need to show improvements. As we mentioned before, it's not going to be just 45 minutes, but it's possibly going to be 65, maybe even 75 minutes for the starters here today. Good chance that we see this very 11 against Fulham at Craven Cottage on Monday night. The week after, that is. As the Premier League season is back underway, Arsenal's title defense, there's a lot of change in the dugout for the likes of Spurs. Well, we did see De Zerbi for the last 7 games, but we're going to see Enzo Maresca, Iraola, Xabi Alonso, all having new starts as Arsenal defend the crown after winning it after 22 years. Well, Pedro Neto, Malo Gusto, and of course Enzo Fernandez have been in the transfer mill. As it stands, they're still with the squad. It'll be interesting to see their futures in the last 2 weeks as the transfer window will whittle down the end of August. And we're off and running for the start of the second half. Sociedad with a really good first half performance after going a goal down, giving Chelsea a proper workout as Cole Palmer nearly slips it through. João Pedro making that right run here. We need to see a bit more of Cole in the second half, especially with Pedro Neto on that right-hand side holding the width, so Palmer can just drift in and start to work his magic. Wesley Fofana stepping in. It looks like Wesley has a new shirt number now. He's got number 3 on his back. Here's Cole. Finds Moises Caicedo. With Reece James in the squad, in the starting 11. It's James who's just the one who's sitting in and allowing Moy to operate a lot further forward. Great turn by Morgan Rogers, puts it across. Good attack this from Chelsea on the left-hand side, recovered. João Pedro won't get there, but Cole Palmer will. Blocked well. What I've seen of Chelsea, I think your chance creation needs upping here. It's a question of time with the front 3, but it's pretty bare. Yep, absolutely. That's something that I've clearly seen, and we've spoken about it during the streams as well. It's been the chance creation that has been Chelsea's biggest problem. I thought we looked a lot more solid in pre-season. In a few games, the defensive solidity and the structure has been largely positive. Chelsea have scored goals, but we need to see those wave after wave of attacks going on. Here's Palmer on the right-hand side. On his left foot, drags it across. Great movement this by Cole. Trying to create separation. Fails to do so, but Reece James clips it in. Oh, it's a decent header. Oh, it's a magnificent João Pedro header. And Chelsea regained the lead early in the second half. Reece's ball in. João Pedro, man. His 5th preseason goal. He has picked up from where he has left off last season. And he has given Chelsea the lead early in the second half, first half, even earlier in the second 45. Chelsea take the lead. Great header, man. Wow. This guy just never ceases to amaze me. There's plenty of power in the cross. There's pace in it. So Joao Pedro doesn't have to generate too much. All he has to worry about is getting this into that small quadrant. And that's exactly what he's done. Look at that. He has to battle the defender. Brilliant header, man. Get in, Daniel. Well, it crosses into the box. That is Chelsea's chance creation method. And it's worked so far. Great ball in. Great header by Joao. Xabi will like that. Starboy, unfortunately, there's no link to this game. It's got to have to be viewed on the Chelsea TV app. But it's a paid promotion. Oh, Palestra does well. He gets the ball back. Oh, that's a poor attempted pass. And if it got through, you're asking way too much of Cole. Well, now on the left-hand side, Wesley Fofana's pace will be tested. And he wins it back nicely. Oh, it's a terrible pass, though. Here's Oscarson. Chelsea in real trouble. Good defending in the end. Again, Wesley Fofana, why are you playing that pass blind, man? Oh, I'm already praying, Gautam. Oh, I'm already praying. Chelsea with... Look, if Nico Jackson was a second choice, I'd be breathing a lot better. But especially Nico and Cole's connection, man. Why Chelsea are so willing to let that go, I'll never know. But I think they're just looking at Joao Pedro and saying, yep, just him. That's all we need. That second choice striker. It looks like it's going to be Emmanuel Omega by the looks of it. Here's Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. Finding Cole Palmer. He's got runners. He's avoided everybody, but he finds a clever pass here. It's Joao Pedro again on his left foot. Decent strike. It's a good save. With Joao Pedro peeling away on the left-hand side. He had two runners. He had Joao on the left, Morgan on the right. And Joao Pedro cooking here, man. Great stuff. Much, much better. Chance creation, Gautam. We were talking about it, and we see it immediately in the second half. Try to keep it low. Any sort of spillage, and Morgan Rogers was there for the tap-in again. 5 minutes into the second half, and Chelsea have been so much better. Alex Ramiro with a comfortable gather. Pellegrino would have been pleased with his boys in terms of the first 45 minutes. Outrageous touch there by Reece James. Just brings it down effortlessly. Proper ball of the Chelsea skipper. Now Cole Palmer. A lot more influential in the second half. Palmer again. Slips it through. Oh, Reece James first time. Just tries to just pass it into the top corner. Kind of apology there from the skipper. But once again, starting the attack and looking to end it. Well, Gautam, you got the Manchester United AC Milan game, don't you, in like an hour's time? Ex-Manchester United manager against the man who took his job, Michael Carrick versus Ruben Amorim. Well, AC Milan have had a pretty dreadful pre-season. And it looks like Amorim has got a bit of a bomb squad going there as well. In Nkunku, Fikayo Tomori. Who else? They've got a few players. I know these two because they're ex-Chelsea. Palmer, clever. Joao Pedro nearly getting there. Chelsea playing some ball now. Finally. Palmer started to find a lot more space. Again, it's that ball. Again, Joao Pedro, if he gets there, he's going to score. It's the game of the decade, says Gautam. It means more. Oh, if Amorim gets one over you, you guys have looked pretty good in pre-season, though. I think you should be fine, and you've got a really comfortable set of games. I think the first 3 or 4 games on paper looks a bit of a walk for Manchester United. Chelsea on the other end having a tough start. There's Carlos Soler. Now finds Luka Susic. Onto the right-hand side. Sociedad looking to build and punching that pass with power. Palestra in position and shepherds that out for a goal kick. Let's see whether or not Chelsea are hungry enough to get the cushion goal here. It's been a much better second half. Half-time team talk clearly working. Sociedad trying to weather the storm. There's Maxence Lacroix. No clean sheet on his first Chelsea start. Palmer loses the ball in midfield. Chelsea in trouble here. Oh, that was a terrible reverse pass. Right idea, but the execution all wrong. There's Ori Oscarson. made the right run. Carlos Soler, the man with experience, was ex-PSG, wasn't he? Carlos Soler. Now playing it straight for Sociedad. Oh, Valencia days. That's right. Yeah, Valencia. I thought he was Villarreal, so yeah, Valencia days indeed. Nice to see him. One of those streets won't forget ballers. Here's James. Maxence Lacroix. Wesley Fofana, almost playing right back here. Trying to venture forward. Lacroix again. Now finds Moises Caicedo. Levi Colville. Nice progression this from Chelsea. Trying to commit as many players in this attack as possible. Here's James. Finds Moy. Now Neto. Neto drifting in the half spaces. Get chalk on the boots. Again, Fofana does not belong on the right wing. Get back into position. Neto, Moy, clever pass. Here's Rogers with a cutback. This is Joao Pedro fashioning an opportunity, and it's a good block in the end. If Joao Pedro lets this go, it's a simple 1v1 for Cole Palmer. First time finish. Joao Pedro probably gets the shout, but he backs himself here. Again, it's Moy who makes things happen. Again, he lets that go. It's straight to Palmer. Chance there for Chelsea. Corner for the Blues. Well, Chelsea's corners early on in the preseason were absolutely dreadful. Moises Caicedo against AC Milan put in some brilliant balls in. Moises Caicedo cannot be long-term solution for corners. It's Neto though. Decent ball in. Maxence Lacroix making the run. Nearly getting a free header there. Into the 10th minute of the second half, and Chelsea subs warming up, including Mike Penders, Josh Achimpong, Malo Gusto for his first minutes in pre-season, Enzo Fernandez the same. Very interesting to see what kind of reception Enzo does end up getting. It's been in the shop window, but nobody seems to be biting. The Chelsea are certainly going to demand as premium a price as possible, considering the midfielders and the prices they've gone on in the summer. Mateus Fernandez, 85 million. Sandro Tonali, 90 million. Elliot Anderson, 116 million. And by that logic, Chelsea are fetching above 100 for Enzo Fernandez if he has to go. And if he stays, I don't mind that either. 10 Premier League goals last season. He's not going to be playing number 10 too much. We might see him on a few occasions where if Chelsea are playing a 4-2-3-1, he might be in that number 10 with Cole on one side and Morgan on the other. That's one iteration where I see him as a number 10. But if that's not the case, we're going to have to see Moy and Enzo in that double pivot where Chelsea have not won too many games, especially in terms of a percentage where we would like to see it as a healthy one. But if it doesn't work under Xabi, then we're going to have to make moves. It's as simple as that. Chelsea are already trying to maybe see if can get premium pricing. That's a terrible pass by Neto, but Cole Palmer tries to make something out of it. Throw in for the Blues. Just over 10 minutes into the second half. Joao Pedro's outstanding header from a Reece James ball in, giving Chelsea the lead after Morgan Rogers in the 10th minute opened the scoring. John Aramboru's outstanding equalizer. Left foot volley past Sanchez meant that Chelsea are very much in this game here, and they've got a proper workout before moving to Craven Cottage Monday night. Manchester United are playing. I'm sure it's a championship side, right? I mean, a promoted side, that is. It's not Coventry. I think Arsenal are playing Coventry in the... Is it the first or the second game of the season? That was going to be pretty interesting. You know that Frank Lampard and always has something against Arsenal, and especially with Arteta. Sergio Gomez. Under pressure there, Chelsea trying to win the ball high up the pitch, but unfairly according to the referee. Andre Marina. Hull, that's the one. Yeah, you guys got a pretty comfy fixture list. Must be nice. Michael Carrick could very easily, after match week 4 or 5, be first or second. After finishing third last season, it'll be quite the improvement, but man, you guys and Arsenal, even Liverpool, I mean, they might end up getting the Barcola deal, but just not serious institutions in terms of considering the position both Arsenal and Manchester United found themselves in. One winning the league, and of course, Manchester United with an excellent third place finish in the end, albeit just playing one game a week. But to be shortchanged like that in the window, considering Arsenal, again, Declan Rice is going to be forced to like get ready, get fit, even though he was pretty much playing on one leg towards the end of the World Cup. He had a lengthy season. And then, of course, William Saliba having that back surgery, which is an improbable timeline, man. I mean, you just don't know with the back. It could be 3 months. It could very easily be 6 months too. So Arsenal can understand why they're trying to get someone like Jarell Konza or even Ezri Konza. Here's Cole, gets away from the challenge, might get it on his left foot. It's Cole Palmer, well blocked. Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, Reece James now. Chelsea committing. Oh, what a ball! Well defended. James nearly perfect there. Here's Palmer on the outside, decent ball and nearly falls to Neto. Chelsea loading the box up. And Sociedad clear. From your research, is Xabi fixed to his three at the back system? Saddam Hussein, or is he more flexible? Well, that's the thing, right? In preseason, it started off with the 4-2-3-1. The AC Milan game was the first time we saw the back three. But with Rodgers and Palmer, I think, and the way that the Chelsea squad is constructed, it's more suited to the back three for the short term at least. It might not be a popular system because people do have their complaints, but if you do have Wesley Fofana, Maxence Lacroix, and Levi Cole will fit, that's a pretty solid back three. And getting Joao Pedro in front with the two number 10s in Cole and Morgan Rogers, that works too. So it's all about the wing backs. Now, whether or not they're good enough, we have options like Palestra is going to be either left or right wing back, and we've got, if Neto stays or doesn't stay, Neto or even Giovanni Kenda, who might be into that wing back shift that he might have to play if he wants to play in a back three. So the back three at the moment, Gautam, does seem the right system to accommodate Chelsea's best players in their best possible positions. Here's Neto. His number might be up here. Palmer, I think he's seeing his number up and decides to curl one into the top corner. In 60 minutes, here at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea do have the lead, and we might see a whole host of subs now. Decent strike by Cole, but it was always travelling over the crossbar. Yeah, Reece is playing either in midfield or he's going to play as right-sided centre-half. No more full-back shifts. If Chelsea want a fit Reece James, yeah, wing-backs, full-back, those dreams are done. I mean, Thomas Tuchel just took the piss out, man, in the World Cup. The number of times he utilised Reece James at fullback and even wingback. I mean, I'm like, what are you trying to do? You know that he's susceptible. He's going to have issues. But nope, that's exactly where he played. And I think he ended up the World Cup with an injury too. So but that's the thing, Gautam. So that's the long-term thing. It's either Wesley Fofana, who's more naturally a centre-half, or Reece James slots in that right-sided centre-half position. Either way, I'm okay with that. Well, Reece has pretty much had not a full season, but close to a full season playing midfield under Enzo Maresca. So he's certainly going to get better in that position. Well, here are the changes that Chelsea are making. Rogers, Lacroix, James, Sanchez. There are 4 players that I saw that have all been replaced. Enzo Fernandez, his first preseason minutes is half an hour at the bridge here. He gets the captain's armband from Reece James. We'll confirm all the substitutions very, very quickly. Well, Malo Gusto and Enzo Fernandez out there in the outfield. Mike Penders in goal. His first real meaningful minutes. He did play 45 against Juve. He was ultimately powerless to stop the Enzagova top corner. Beautiful finish on his left foot from the Kosovo midfielder, winger rather. Other than that, we didn't see too much of Mike Penders. Whereas Enzo and Moy in midfield. Palmer's still out there alongside Joao Pedro. I don't want to see Joao Pedro, even though he is the only striker to be playing 90 minutes. Absolutely not. We have to almost bubble wrap him, man. That was a true blue, gone 2 years. Hope he's watching from above. Man, that is more strength to you, more power to you, Daniel. It's not easy. Stuff like that. And for him to be a blue supporter brings us even closer. Hope he is watching from above. But sometimes, from your own sake, your dad's peace of mind from above, he should be tuning away from Chelsea, especially last season. But sorry to hear that, man. More strength to you. Well, finally, Chelsea are going to confirm the substitutions. Penders off for Sanchez. Malo Gusto and Enzo Fernandez out there in the outfield. Achimpong's on too. Oh, Sociedad have worked it really well here. It's a cutback at the edge of the box as he looked to just pass it in. Well defended by Wesley Fofana. It looks like a change in position now with Fofana as centre back and Achimpong on the right. Chelsea on the back foot here as a shot from distance. It's over the crossbar. Chelsea survive. The new players trying to settle in as quickly as possible. And in that confusion, Sociedad creating a good chance here. Great rotations as was worked well in the end. Carlos Soler is trying to pass it into the far corner. Instead, he just catches it too well. Well, Malo Gusto now is going to be playing right wing back. Josh Achimpong as the right-sided centre half. I think Levi Colville is still on the pitch. We can very easily use Jarell Hato there. There's no reason why Levi needs to play 90 minutes here. Decent switch across onto the left-hand side. Sergio Gomez brings it down nicely. Sociedad looking for the equalizer. Here is the left back. Finds Carlos Soler with the effort. Not bad at all. Sociedad have certainly responded since going down to that early second half goal from Joao Pedro. Couple of efforts. Had to really trouble Mike Penders in goal so far, but Chelsea need to just pick it up here. 25 minutes left before pre-season comes to an end, and Chelsea turn their attention to that game against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Nice play between the lines. Joao Pedro, magnificent feet. He is a Brazilian after all. Look at him go. Man, the quick shift and just completely selling the defender. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Finds Wesley Fofana. Well, Wesley in the centre back role doesn't fill me with too much confidence. I'd rather see Josh Achimpong there, who's a lot more comfortable with his ball at his feet. He can drive forward, and also his passing is just a level above Wesley Fofana. Clip pass by Cole. Joao Pedro runs it beautifully. Waits for a bit of support. Goes on the outside. Joao Pedro trying to create separations. He might have won a corner. He has. He remains Chelsea's best attacker on the pitch. Nice play there. Just his ball manipulation in tight spaces is at such a high level. I always felt the drop-off between him and Liam Delap. I don't want to be the guy who just constantly hammers Liam Delap. Unfortunately, I've been guilty of doing it way too much, but it's only what my eyes see. But the drop-off from Joao Pedro to Liam Delap was astronomical. Ball into the box. Oh, the flick-on header. Enzo Fernandez, of all people, just peeling away. It's not enough power on the cross, but he just looks to direct that. Decent header from the second half Chelsea skipper. Enzo Fernandez, 2 World Cup finals played. Won it in Qatar, was the young player of the tournament. Fortunately, handsomely beaten in the final despite the scoreline not reflecting that entirely. Ferran Torres It's a match winner. Ends up going to PSG. PSG's attack, mind you. I mean, they're going to lose what looks like Bradley Barcola and Ibrahim Mbaye. But their attack, which is already stacked to the gills, has now been added. They got Mika Goetz as well from, oh, that's a nice nutmeg on Levi Cole. Mika Goetz from Ajax. He just adds another dimension. They've got Aklioche from Monaco as well. Just beefed up that forward line. They're going to start, of course, with Desiree Doué, Ousmane Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia, but they've got some serious players in terms of squad depth in the attacking sense. Talked about summer business. Well, Manchester United have, again, it's a common pattern though. It should not be surprising that every time Manchester United do qualify for Europe, the Champions League that is, the spending just drops off. When they're in the Europa League trying to get into the Champions League, they spend 200 million quid minimum. But when they're in the Champions League, it's been a clear pattern. You have enough evidence to show that they don't look to push on once they have Champions League. Getting Champions League seems to be Manchester United's objective. Pretty much shortchanged Michael Carrick. Yes, we expected that midfield rebuild that Manchester United would have after completely revamping their forward line with Benjamin Šeško, Brian Mbeumo, and Mateus Cunha in excess of almost 220 million quid. And in midfield, you expected not a similar outlay because they've got someone like Kobbie Mainoo there, but to spend, 35 million, which was the release clause for Yuri Tielemans, and 48 million on Andres Santos, ex-Chelsea, of course, while it might turn out to be good business, just feels that slightly underwhelming. Again, Manchester United have been burnt in the past with big name signings, so they're trying something different here, so you can kind of see that. But again, you're going with Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford is being reintegrated. I mean, Diogo Dalot. How many players, how much more evidence do you need to see that it can very easily go tits up, man, for Manchester United? We saw that happening under Ruben Amorim. Yes, it was different circumstances, different conditions. Man, some Manchester United fans would say probably the worst manager for Manchester United was Amorim, so it'd be unfair to judge some of the players. But I mean, Gotham, I understand you say you wait till the end of the window, right? No head loss until then. But I just feel like when you wait till the end of the window, it's almost like any player will do. It's just like, just get someone in there. And in the hopes of that happening, I don't think the best decisions are made because you just panic, man. And everybody's feet. If you're looking at shrewd bargains and, cut price deals, that's not going to happen at the end of the window unless some elite scouting happens, which Manchester United clearly aren't doing, really. It's pretty much players from the Premier League that they're going and seeing who's not playing, who's got a release clause that we can activate. I mean, Mbeumo being one of them, Yuri Tielemans being the other. This is not scouting, right? This is established Premier League players coming into the squad. So you want to see something like that. If Manchester United do get a steal, say like Senne Lammens, right? End of the window. I mean, I would say his levels have been slightly exaggerated, but considering you had Onana in goal and now having Lammens, Manchester United fans are visibly giddy about it. But it's an improvement. It was a gamble and it paid off by the looks of it. But can you make those kind of gambles in midfield, especially when you've got not just the league with expectations now, but Champions League as well? And expectations that you go deep in the cups, because if you get knocked out once again in round one of the Carabao and the FA Cup, that's a failure, man. Great carry here by Levi Colville. Joao Pedro might get here. Joao Pedro has been just far and above our best player. Pressure. Well, welcome back to the stream, Mr. Bajaj. Do you want to take a guess who scored the second goal? Just take a guess. A little bit of fun. If you get it wrong, I'll correct you. It was a Reece James ball in. Just want to help you out in that manner. No prizes for guessing, though. Palmer gets his ankles tapped as Chelsea lose out. Decent ball onto the left-hand side. They are trying to make moves there. Sociedad had a decent period after Chelsea did end up taking the lead. Fired across the face of goal. Pender's hoping there was no real touch. Think we should be okay now for the start of the second half. I mean, for the last 15 minutes, that is. Might be a foul here as Chelsea bring on more reinforcements. Lavia, Esteval, Pep Chavaria, Jamie Gittins, Sherelle Hato. Moises Caicedo off, thankfully. The Manny, I couldn't hear whether or not Enzo got the boost, but he does get the captain's armband. Pep Chavaria, Chelsea's newest acquisition. Left wing back is where we're expecting him to see, but left back is where he might be most at home. And Marco Palestra is off as well. Good for Chelsea, getting a decent enough workout for the start of the season. Again, just shows you the strength and depth here. Yeah, Levi is off. I think it's my internet, guys. I'm really sorry if you're facing issues. Running on fumes here, but speaking of running, here's Joao Pedro. He's through here. Joao Pedro! Rifles it into the bottom corner. Chelsea have 3. Joao has 2. It's game over. It's a cracking finish. Beautifully done from Joao Pedro. It's one ball that just opens up the Sociedad defense, and Joao Pedro adds the finishing touches. What a preseason he's had, man. 6 goals for him. He's in red-hot form, and when he's through on goal, there's just no doubt in your mind. Great goal, that. We're 3-1 up. Much better second half. We had issues regarding chance creation, whether or not Chelsea could sustain those kinds of moves. has been answered. Second half, much better. We saw Morgan Rogers score one, Joao Pedro score two. We good. We good now. Yeah, Gautam, the stream has been cooked. I'm fighting an uphill battle here. Well, Chelsea have brought on a whole host of players. We talked about Romeo Lavia, Jarell Hato, Gittins. Who else came on? Esteval? I'm not sure. I think that was it. Oh, Daniel, you got it late, didn't you? The Joao Pedro goal. Well, both of Joao Pedro's finishes have just been supreme, man. I mean, when you watch the watch-alongs alongside me and Joao Pedro's playing, you're going to hear a lot of glaze. But that doesn't come from my Chelsea bias. It's a bit of it, not going to lie, but it's just a supreme footballer, man. His finishing is at such a high level. The header was world class, to be honest. And then the bottom corner finish was so assured, too. So we're seeing a whole host of Joao Pedro finishes. The final 10 minutes. Here's Malo Gusto. Finds Esteval Willian trying to isolate. Achimpong, Lavia, Fernandez. Chelsea starting with Reese and Moy and ending the game with Enzo and Lavia. Haven't seen that pair too often. Thank you so much, Gautam, for tuning in, bro. Good luck for your WrestleMania event. Enjoy the game. Of course, it's Manchester United versus AC Milan in pre-season. Michael Carrick versus Ruben Amorim. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Well, Chelsea just wrap this game up, shut it down. Jamie Gittins, also another player introduced in that second part with the subs, was that Malo Gusto pass to Joao Pedro, which was just absolutely astonishing. First time ball in. Joao Pedro doing the rest. Here is the Frenchman. Now Josh Achimpong. Where's Fofana? Chelsea with pretty much a whole new team out there. I think West Fofana and Joao Pedro, the only starters that are still out there. I think the stream is finally okay, guys. Thank you for staying patient with me. Oh, decent ball in. It's well cleared. First time that we're seeing Pep Chavaria. Left-hand side. Well, fullback is what I want to call him, but in this system, he might end up playing wing-back. Here's Enzo Fernandez, switching it beautifully to Malo Gusto. Here's the Frenchman. Finds Achimpong. This is the exact same position that Reece James found Joao Pedro. Here's Esteval Willian. Decent footwork. Will he get a corner? I don't think he will. Out for a goal kick. Well, pre-season rounding up. Let me know what you guys think about your own teams. Chelsea's pre-season has ended well. That AC Milan game gave us a bit of hope, but then we also knew the opposition, the JDT game it was literally the next day, so we can't take too much into account on that department, but that was really poor. Ended up conceding 3 in a 3-3 game. Juventus was a loss. Certainly could have been improvement in that. The Tottenham game was forgetful, even though we played against them, against 10 men for this most of the second half. This has been a much better workout, this from Chelsea. Yes, it's home comforts. We could see that The players not wanting to fully overexert themselves, but you look at Joao Pedro, he should not be on the pitch now. He has absolutely no business to be on the pitch here. Yes, Chelsea don't have anybody else on the bench in terms of a pure striker, but having gotten the 2 goals, yeah, please take him off, Xabi, please. I want to play a false 9. You can just get Giovanni Kenda there and use him as an able body, but there's no need for Joao to be playing 90 minutes, man. I mean, it's not at the weekend, Chelsea's next game, so he gets enough time to recover, considering it's Saturday today and you get about 9 days to recover, 8 days to recover. Here's Esteval. Finds Malo Gusto. Cross comes in. Well, not the best of crosses there from Malo Gusto as Jamie Gittins trying to crash it from the left-hand side. Much better second half, guys. So much better second half. Yes, in that second 45 minutes, especially after Joao scored early on, there were a few instances where Sociedad did get in behind. I thought we defended overall well enough. Pender's not having to do too much since Sanchez came out. Also, decent move again, this from Sociedad. Well defended from Chelsea centrally. Fofana getting that away. Throw in for the Spanish side. 5 minutes plus, about 3 minutes of stoppage time to finish this things off. Free kick for Real Sociedad as they try to pull a goal back and make it a bit uncomfortable in terms of the result in the final 5. Pellegrino would have been relatively happy with the team's performance. Ball into the box. Oh my word, how has that stayed out? Chelsea get very, very lucky. It's more by luck than judgment. Circulated back into the box via the cross. Pender's caught in no man's land. Chelsea clear. Sociedad keeping the danger alive, and it's a weak challenge. Oh, what a strike, just wide. Chelsea just flailing defensively right towards the end. Not the kind of conviction by Jarell Hato needed there. He has to be a lot stronger. And Pendas just gets caught here. No, it wasn't Hato, it was Jamie Gittins. Very half-hearted there. Proper forward-like challenge, wasn't it? Here's Achimpong. Xabi Alonso won't be... Oh, that's a poor pass by Achimpong, but asks a lot out of Lavia, who does brilliantly with it. Here's Romeo Lavia, slips it through perfectly for Joao Pedro. Oh, great challenge. Lays it off here. Esteval! Power over placement. The two Brazilians combined, but it's Romeo Lavia, man. Sensational football. The pass was left short for him. He has to do so much, and he does so well. Look at this from Romeo. Everything right. The touch, the control, and then the slip-through pass for Joao Pedro. He sees the slide challenge. Esteval takes a couple of touches, looks to just curl that into the corner. 3 minutes remaining here. Sociedad, decent move onto the right-hand side. Cutback opportunity. It's a clearance of not conviction, but effectiveness there by Jarell Hato. It is a corner for Sociedad. 3 minutes remaining. Very open game here. Joao Pedro's still on the pitch. I mean, it is very concerning now. There's no need. There's absolutely no need. And if you're going to have issues in terms of the second striker, keep Nico Jackson, please, Chelsea. Here's the goal scorer, John Aramburu. Takes a decent strike in. Well, he is capable. We saw him on his left foot. With his right could have been so much more potent. That's a foul on Malo Gusto. He's had a good impact since coming on. Got the assist for the Joao Pedro goal. His first minutes in pre-season after being second choice right back for France in the World Cup behind Jules Koundé. Lavia being put under pressure and he expertly gets out of it. What am I saying, Manny? What did I say? Oh, yeah, yeah. He's going to end up staying, isn't he? The one who shan't be named. What a carry. This is magnificent play by Jarell Hato. Slips it through onto the left-hand side. Gittins loses his balance. I think that is Joao Pedro. It's a real shade there at the far side. But again, Romeo Lavia. Wow. This time it was Jarell Hato. Chelsea subs coming on. Trying to make a difference. Gusto finds Esteval. Great run there by Jarell Hato. And just showcases Chelsea's depth there as the left-sided centre-half instead of Levi Colville. Hato very much capable, comfortable playing in that position. Under 90 seconds of the 90 remain here. Chelsea, by the looks of it, will end up finishing the pre-season with a win against the Spanish outfit. Xabi Alonso's former club as player. I think he managed the B side, didn't he, before going to Bayer Leverkusen. Here's Lavia, who's looked awesome here in the last couple of minutes. But as I say that, a bit of commentator's curse on it. Doesn't get the pass right on that occasion. Sociedad have been really swamped in the last few minutes. Fofana does well. Penders, calm on the ball, finds Josh Achimpong. Now Enzo Fernandez. Malo Gusto looking very confident, stud rolling and stuff, and he nearly puts in that awkward pass. I mean, this is the third time Chelsea have done that. So Wesley Fofana, Achimpong, and now Malo Gusto all do that. That is something that Chelsea need to possibly try and eradicate, because those are suicide passes. Those are the hospital passes as we talk about. Oh, Achimpong looks to just slip it through. The reverse on his left foot to Esteval, well blocked in the end. Chelsea's attack still going. Here's Joao Pedro. I think he's certainly offside there, Gittins. No, he isn't. Continues. Here's Gittins now. Drops the shoulder. Gets dispossessed, but does well to keep his balance. That's a foul, ref. That's a clear foul on Jamie. And that's the thing, Manny. He's a huge asset for the bench, man. That's why he fancies himself starting for Aston Villa, especially with European commitments in the Champions League. So Jackson's like, I'd rather be, or I mean, it's pretty much a Chelsea decision. But if Jackson's thinking is, I'd rather be a sub if Ollie Watkins ends up starting, that is, rather be a second choice striker for a Champions League club than a Chelsea team that don't really need me, with Joao Pedro firing on all cylinders. Will he be happy just getting poverty minutes? But if he's happy to stay, Chelsea should keep him, man. You know my thoughts about Jackson. You all know my thoughts about Jackson. I mean, just his combination with Cole Palmer alone, it's worth it. Oh, Enzo Fernandez's free kick. Roof of the net in the end, but that was a decent attempt by the skipper. Well, Enzo Fernandez played the Club World Cup last summer. Chelsea ended up winning, so there was no break for him. Plays the World Cup final for Argentina. No break again this summer. I mean, considering he plays week in, week out, 90 minutes, and how Chelsea have used him over the last couple of seasons, it's a miracle that he is not broken down, considering he does have that Pugliaga injury that he has had to battle with. It does take your athleticism, your explosiveness away, but Enzo Fernandez, he's a warrior, isn't he? With just under 90 seconds of stoppage time remaining, Chelsea getting the job done. Well, before this game, it was the AC Milan pre-season game that was Chelsea's most impressive 90 minutes. We're going to have to amend that and now make it this one. It's been a whole lot better, especially the second 45 minutes. In terms of control, the game against AC Milan was a whole lot better because I think for a good 20-minute period in that first 45 minutes, Real Sociedad were causing Chelsea a lot of problems. But in the second 45, it's been much better, despite Chelsea making almost 9 changes. Yeah, Fofana and Joao Pedro, the only two starters that look like they're going to see in the 93 minutes. Why Joao Pedro, despite scoring a brace, is still on the pitch is my only gripe with Xabi Alonso. But considering we play Monday night, that's his thinking. Chelsea need to sort out that second striker situation swiftly, man. If Omega's fit, fine. If he's not, we'd rather take the gamble with Jackson. You want to sell him? Sell him next summer. He's still on that massive contract. 7-year deal. utilize it. And that will be that. Andre Mariner decides that right in the 93rd minute, he decides that enough is enough as Xabi Alonso secures his most impressive preseason victory, and it's against his former side, Real Sociedad. Chelsea end up completing a good workout there before the game against Fulham. Morgan Rogers opened the scoring in the 10th minute, right on the stroke of half-time. John Armborough's equaliser was absolutely top class. Early into the second half, Reece James's cross with a brilliant Joao Pedro header to give Chelsea the early lead in the second half. And then Malo Gusto, since coming on, his first real meaningful contribution, a lovely left-footed through pass for Joao Pedro, running through on goal, and from a tight angle, finding the bottom corner. 6 goals in pre-season for Joao Pedro after scoring 15 in the Premier League last season. He is ready to go. Chelsea play Fulham next. Well, a good workout there for the Blues. Everybody getting involved in the last pre-season game here at Stamford Bridge as the Chelsea faithful see what looked like a potential starting 11 against Fulham. What we saw in the first 45 minutes, a few tweaks might be made considering what might happen from here to what happens in Fulham in terms of the transfer window. The likes of Neto, Malo Gusto, Enzo Fernandez, all capable of possibly leaving Chelsea come the end of the window. But a 3-win win here against Sociedad is something that we'll absolutely take it. Well, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been an absolutely wild stream. I still can't believe the numbers the stream has done. I never let numbers dictate my stream, at least till it's this part at least. But this support has been phenomenal, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It really means the world to me. I will be live tomorrow for the Community Shield final between Arsenal and Manchester City, the Premier League champions versus the winners of the FA Cup, as it is the curtain raiser before the start of the Premier League. Xabi Alonso says thank you to the Stamford Bridge faithful, as we will see him in a couple of weeks' time returning to the bridge. But first assignment is Fulham away. Well, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out, Manny. I'll see you very soon, brother. Thank you so much. This is me, Suraj, signing off.